Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 26. We are on day 14, and we are about to witness match 3 of 5 in today's B Block series. We've got Tomoaki Honma about to take on Katsuhiko Nakajima, and this match is sure to be just massive bombs being thrown from both ends. Lots of kicks from Nakajima, lots of headbutts from Honma. We are about to find out who's going to take the victory here. If let's just put it this way, guys, Nakajima wins this match, he will join Michael Elgin in the 4 and 3 category. Actually, Michael Elgin and Toru Yano in the 4 and 3 category, and the only person in this block with the tournament to have a better record than that, with the potential to have a better record than that, is Naito, who's actually facing a stablemate tonight, and you never know what can happen in those.
Absolutely, that's going to be absolutely unpredictable. But let's see if Nakajima here can join Elgin and Yano, or if Honma can get back to his winning ways that he had at the start of the tournament.
Honma won his first 2 matches, just like Yuji Nagata, actually. Those guys are kind of mirroring each other. Won their first 2 matches and haven't won since. Honma, though, sort of a Cinderella story, or at least we thought he was going to be, having won only 1 of his last 17 G1 matches, and coming into this year winning 2 straight off the bat was a huge shock, but he hasn't won since. So let's see if he can get back to those winning ways. Like John said, we have our New Japan World Players set to 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 50 seconds, and we'll be hitting play on go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we see here Honma getting checked out by the referee, Nakajima having a slight smile on his face. This is going to be quite a skirmish. You know, Honma has a lot of...
Yeah, you said. Honma really does channel his energy from the crowd.
Absolutely. He feeds off of them. They believe in him. Honma has more heart than anybody, I think, in that locker room. Only question is Nakajima going to stomp it out of his chest or not?
Yeah, exactly. Nakajima has some of the most devastating kicks in the business. I won't say because there's some serious kick artists out there, but he calls himself the genius of the kick, and I'm not one to argue with him.
Yeah, that is a contention I would not make. And now Honma offering for Nakajima to bring it. And there's a boot. Honma, though, sidestepped it, and there's a shoulder block there by Honma. And Honma is fired up here. And a stomp there into Nakajima, and another stomp.
Honma was smart enough there, even though Nakajima was lying prone. Honma's smart enough to know he wasn't, incapacitated enough to go for a headbutt. But now he's going to try after a scoop slam and misses.
Yeah, the first Kakeshi was a miss. Now Nakajima, nice single drop kick there to the face. And Honma's going to go, well, not totally outside. He's on the apron now. And Nakajima, I don't know if this is a good position for Nakajima to be, and, oh no, it's not. Honma countering. Could it be a suplex on the outside? Now they're both on the apron. Look at the balance there by Nakajima. Body shot, there's a kick. DDT on the apron. And Nakajima...
We talked yesterday what happened when Ishii dropped Okada on his head in the middle of the ring. Imagine getting dropped on your head on the apron.
Absolutely, and Marufuji, I think, didn't he teach Tanahashi that very lesson with a pile driver on the apron yesterday? So...
No, I don't think it was a pile driver.
Yeah, I believe it was a pile driver. It was a standard.
Oh, yeah, it was. It was a traditional pile driver, though, not a sit-out tombstone, yeah.
Right. And now Nakajima,
yeah, you're right, John. Good call. And yeah, there's the PK on the outside.
And normally that's a move Nakajima likes to hit on the inside, and usually proceeding from that is the Brainbuster. And now he's going to send Honma into the guardrail, and he does. And now Nakajima, there's a boot, and I think... if we could get a camera on there, I think he sent Honma into the crowd.
Yeah.
And Nakajima, man, that's why he calls himself the genius of the kick. His ability with his legs, the amount of strikes that he knows, he's very versatile. He could do straight up boots, or he could do things that you've never seen before. And Honma now is staggered here. And like you said, Honma won his first 2 matches, really hasn't been himself since. He's just been on a downward spiral, which maybe that is him being himself, because that's what we were used to last year at G1 Climax.
Yeah, I gotta say, I gotta check out some Pro Wrestling Noah, just because I really want to see Nakajima versus Marufuji, see whose kicks are more devastating there. I think we know whose chops are more devastating. I'm curious who has better kicks, though, between the 2 guys, because Nakajima, I mean, we already talked about it. He calls himself the genius of the kick, and his kicks are great. But Marufuji has some of the most innovative kicks I've ever seen.
Right. And now hooks the leg here. Honma stacks him up a little bit. And a kick out there by Honma. And Nakajima
Really
right back on it.
Up there. And look at this. A figure 4 headlock.
Brilliantly applied by Nakajima.
If Nakajima was a little more flexible, he could get that left leg around and grab it with his foot. That would create an insane amount of pressure. And it would actually, believe it or not, that would be the same thing as what Carmella uses as a finisher in WWE.
Yeah, I would agree. That would be smart for Nakajima to do. And I like now that he's back in this position. I didn't like when he was on his hands, kind of his stomach facing the canvas instead of upwards, because I thought that could potentially give Honma a leverage advantage, because he's got freakish strength. Honma gets his foot on the rope, though.
Well, and at the same time, I don't know if you noticed, but Honma was actually, Nakajima was driving Honma's head into the mat in that position.
Yes, he was.
He lifted him up a little bit and shoved his head into the mat, so almost like a leg-executed DDT or a pile driver even there.
And now Honma there with the overhand chops, trying to get back in this thing. There's a third overhand chop, and Nakajima, though, responds with a forearm. Honma with a forearm of his own. There's a forearm exchange here between Nakajima and Honma. And look at that. Nakajima caught the arm, and there's a DDT there.
Another DDT. He is really focusing on Honma's head and neck.
And that was a close near fall, but Honma kicking out at 2. Nakajima even ordering the ref, hey, speed up the count. You can't blame Red Shoes for that. I thought his positioning was great. I thought the speed of the count was fair. Honma's just resilient. And now Nakajima,
it did feel a little bit slow, but I don't think it would have made a difference on that exact pin.
Right. And Nakajima, I wonder if he felt inspired by the preceding Shibata bout, because he's been all over Honma, and I like how he goes from hold to hold to hold. But now, oh, wait a minute here, this could be a mistake, because you're inviting Honma to play the power game.
Honma's just too strong.
And now Honma's going to try and power through the suplex here. Could it be the deadlift vertical? He's got Nakajima up. Nakajima, though, trying to resist. He does have that leg strength. And there's the deadlift vertical there. Honma not able to immediately capitalize, but you know something? I think he'd much rather catch a breather at this time than go for any pin attempts. Honma rolling away from Nakajima. I think that's smart. Not only that, he's rolling towards the rope. He grabs it to regain vertical. Nakajima now back up by his own willpower. Honma charging. Nice blow there. Back elbow. And now a scoop slam, scoop slam. Could it be the Kakeshi maybe, or is Honma thinking about something else? Honma really taking his time here. I think he's really looking to feed off the crowd. I would have a greater sense of urgency if I was him. What do you think, partner?
Yeah, he needs to have a sense of urgency, but at the same time, Honma is going to be Honma, and what Honma does best is feed off of the crowd. They are the reason he won those first 2 matches, and he thinks that they're going to lead him to another victory here.
And there you go. I can't argue with that logic. Nakajima sent in the opposite corner. There's the forearm in the corner by Honma. Then the Bulldog, and we know that he really likes to go for a Kakeshi after this. Is he going to hit? He does.
That's probably his most successful sequence that he can follow up with a Kakeshi as far as his hit rate with said Kakeshi.
And that first Kakeshi, I'll tell you what it does. First of all, it hurts like hell to Nakajima's arm. But more importantly, it builds confidence for Honma. And now Honma pointing at Nakajima. He's going to charge here. Got met with a boot by Nakajima, but Honma powers through with the corner lariat. I'm telling you, Honma's power is freakish at times. Nakajima, though, another kick. And Honma tried to kick, but he got dragon screwed for his efforts. That was a resourceful counter by the genius of the kick, Nakajima.
Yeah, Nakajima really doing a great job of not letting Honma breathe. I mean, I know it seems like they're far away right now, but Nakajima, when you're fighting someone and it feels like they have an answer to everything that you try and hit them with, it feels like they're smothering you, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
And now Nakajima going to go to the top rope here. I wonder what he's thinking about.
Oh, wow. One bound, almost RVD-esque there. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Great athleticism there from Nakajima.
Missile drop kick.
There's the drop kick, and I love the little delay on the release. Great impact. And now he's going to crawl over, hooks the leg of Honma. 2! And Honma kicks out again. I'll tell you that, though, Nakajima getting closer and closer with every pin attempt.
Do you know why that delay makes the drop kick hurt a little bit more?
Because you're storing all that impact. It's kind of like, what do they call that in science? Potential energy, and then it becomes kinetic at the last second?
It's not even that, believe it or not. It's actually wind resistance. If you have your legs out from the time you jump, there's more wind resistance, and the gravity affects you less, and you're moving slower in the air. Whereas if you have yourself tucked in, it's like a cannonball, and then you shoot your legs out at the last second to transfer that impact.
Well, to paraphrase Jesse Pinkman, science, bitch, as we go back now to the forearms here. And a super kick there by Nakajima to Honma. Honma, though, charging with the lariat. Nakajima ducks. Honma ducking the kick. Is it going to be a Fire Thunder driver? Nakajima slides out, checks the arm with the boot. Honma powers through, checking the arm again.
Oh my
Nakajima.
God, the accuracy of these kicks is ridiculous.
That's why he's the genius of the kick. And there's the German there to Honma. Is Honma going to eat it? He does.
I wouldn't call him the genius of the kick. I call him the kick sharpshooter.
Yeah, really.
And there Honma with the lariat takes both men down. But those kicks were insanely accurate. I mean, that first kick made sense that you could kick somebody's arm with like a pump kick style front kick. But the fact that he did that roundhouse kick and still caught Honma, not just in the arm, looked to me like he caught him right in the hand. That's so painful. I mean, have you ever been kicked in the hand, John?
I can't say that I have, partner.
It is awful. And it hurts the person's foot a little bit, but that is exactly why Nakajima wears kick pads, to prevent his legs from being injured.
Exactly, and now you see them doing, from a more grounded basis, the forearms, but now they're both at vertical here. Now Nakajima with another forearm. Honma, though, with the knife edge chop. And now these two. Who is going to get the better of this exchange here? There's the chest kick there by Nakajima.
That kick was just so... He kicks so hard. It's ridiculous.
Back and forth, these two men go, and there's another kick by Nakajima. Honma's got to suck it up here. Another knife edge. Nakajima, you could even see his mouth opening in pain. He looked like he wanted to scream. And now these moves intensifying here, these strikes picking up pace. And now Honma getting the winning exchange with the knife edges, but the spinning back kick.
I mean, you said intensifying. It seemed to me they were speeding up.
And there's a torpedo Kakeshi there right to the back. And now Honma going to try and capitalize. Nakajima reversing the Irish whip. And another torpedo Kakeshi there. Second straight. And now Honma. Is he going to do... I think he's going to do about the Fire Thunder driver there.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. Oh, and there it is. We've talked about it before. It seems like when he hits a bunch of successful torpedo Kakeshis, his win rate in matches goes up.
That's true, but I think the mistake he made, and he made it in his last match too, he doesn't follow up the Fire Thunder driver with the top rope Kakeshi. And when he hit the Fire Thunder driver, Nakajima was in perfect position, but he moves out of the way there because Nakajima.
You know what though, John? I think he made that same mistake in his wins. But the difference was he was able to last long enough to hit one of those backdrop drivers. Not a backdrop, a back body drop driver.
Right.
And he transitioned directly from that into the Kakeshi on the top rope. I think that right there is what really puts opponents away long enough for him to hit the top rope Kakeshi.
Right. Nakajima now.
We haven't seen him use that since his second match, which is also, incidentally, his last win.
Exactly, so maybe that back body drop driver is key. Spinning heel kick there by Nakajima. Honma on all fours now. What's Nakajima thinking about? Could it be a backdrop driver? It is a backdrop driver, no bridge.
Ooh. Again, though, making the mistake of not bridging it. I don't think he's going to get this.
And he does not.
And he doesn't. You need to learn from Nagata. That's the problem. He can't even approach Nagata with how much of a jerk he was in their match.
Yeah, he viciously targeted the leg of Yuji Nagata in their bout. Nakajima got the win, but I have to wonder when he makes mistakes like that, at what cost? Could it be the brainbuster here? He's got him up. Honma slides out.
No.
Headbutt there. And now, Nakajima again, reversing the Irish whip.
Torpedo.
Drop kick.
Nice. Drop kick.
Nakajima coming out on the winning end of that exchange. Nakajima up. Maybe he needs to do another penalty kick and then the brainbuster. I don't know. Super kick there. Honma on one knee. Another super kick. Now Honma on all fours here. Can Honma survive? Nakajima pointing. A third super kick. Honma goes down. Nakajima hooks the leg. Cradles both legs, actually. And a kick out there. That was a nice pin by Nakajima, partner, but it wasn't able to get the job done.
Yeah, that was almost like a small package, but from the front instead of from behind.
There's the PK. And now Nakajima. I think he's going to hit the brainbuster here. He's got Honma up. And he goes down. That's going to do it. That's going to do it.
All it takes? That might be all it takes.
1, 2, 3 count.
Nakajima with his I believe fourth win of the tournament, fifth win maybe.
He's 4-3,
Fourth.
like you said. Yeah, he joins Elgin
Yeah.
and Toriano now.
Fourth win, yeah. Elgin and Toriano, and now Nakajima, and also, I mean, we had to talk about it. Shibata is also 4-3.
There you go.
We have four men right now at 4-3 just in this block, and we're guaranteed to get a fifth unless Yuji Nagata and Kenny Omega go to a draw, because both of those men are 3-3.
And we'll have to see. I mean, the question is, can Kenny Omega, leader of the Bullet Club and a man that a lot of people have had their eyes on, especially with his inflammatory remarks at the G1 press conference, can he join the 4-3 pool and get back in this thing? But in the present moment, Nakajima gets a win, and I think he may be showing respect to Honma here. I'm not sure. He's picking Honma up. This is weird for Nakajima. I'm not used to him showing such respect to his opponents.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, normally, I mean, you talked about how ruthless he was against Nagata, and even with people he doesn't have a problem with, it seems like he just walks out. But I think Honma may have earned Nakajima's respect there. And now, look at that, extends his hand. Look at this by Nakajima. I'll tell you, what a class act. I'm impressed. And Honma just kind of looking at him. Is Honma going to shake his hand? And he does. Look at that. That's what I like to see at G1 Climax. Two guys giving it their all and recognizing each other's efforts.
Honma 2-5 now, I believe.
Yeah, Honma has just really gone downhill since those first two wins, but Nakajima is on the rise.
It's the same record that Sonata and Hideyoshi Tenzan are sharing right now.
Exactly.
Over in the A block.
Yeah.
And it's potentially the record that Evil could have after tonight if Naito defeats him.
Yeah, and that's a big if. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen in that match. That's going to be our main event tonight. Up next, I believe, because this was our third tournament match, we have Kenny Omega versus Yuji Nagata. Am I correct, partner?
That is correct, and we're going to find out which of these men is going to go to 4-3 while leaving the other one in the 3-4 dust. Up next, stay tuned.